This is one of the biggest transformations I've done to my Defender so far. As you can see above me, my headliner is looking quite posh. Now, yeah, I know the old headliner wasn't quite falling apart, but it was fairly grotty and it looked like something out of a tractor cab. And I looked online and people were charging £300 to £500 to retrim headliners. And I thought there must be a cheaper solution. And I came across the fabric, which was around £35. And then I just needed the spray adhesive, which cost me around £11. And of course, I'll pop the link in the description down below in case you guys want to get your hands on some of these and give your vehicle that ultimate transformation. I honestly feel that this upgrade has made the Defender interior feel more premium. It is a little bit dark in here, so maybe I will add another light to the rear of the vehicle, probably on either of the passenger sides. But other than that, I think the transformation is well worth the 50 quid. Let me know what you guys think, and let's jump into the process and I'll show you guys exactly how I did it, what to look out for, and how to make your life a bit easier when you take this task on. So to begin with, we have to get the headliner out, and in order to get the headliner out, we have to take the two sun visors out, the mirror holder, and the front interior light. And once this is all out, we can start removing those dreaded fir tree clips. Now, you will need a trim removal tool to do this, so I've put a link in the description down below for one of those. And of course, you need a Phillips screwdriver. It's not really a difficult task to remove the headliner, but it is a bit awkward. It will be a lot harder to put it back in, so just bear that in mind when you take this task on. And that's exactly why, while I have the roof liner off, I'm going to take the opportunity to apply some sound dampening and insulation to the roof. I'll be using Dodo Mat's Deadening sound deadening, which is a vibration proof mat. And once this is applied, I'll then go ahead and apply a layer of Dodo's Dead Easy Thermoliner, which is like a foam insulation for soundproofing. Instead of buying an expensive kit that's already pre-cut, I basically bought 2 rolls of this stuff and then I'm just going to trim it down myself. Yeah, obviously it is more labour intensive, but it's pretty easy to trim the stuff down using a craft knife. There will be a link in the description down below if you guys want to purchase some of this for your vehicle. And before I start applying all the sound deadening, I'm just going to clean the roof surface using some isopropanol alcohol diluted into some water. And with the surface all prepped, we can then start applying the sound deadening. It's really just a matter of stretching it out so that you don't get any creases. I also recommend getting yourself a roller so that you can apply this quite firmly. Now, you definitely should be wearing proper gloves while you're doing this because this stuff literally slices into your skin. Now, when I tap on the roof of the panels that have been done, you'll instantly hear a difference compared to the ones that haven't been done. And that really shows how much difference this is going to make to the vehicle. Now, we've got the first layer in, we've still got to do the 2 edges, we've got to do this bulgy bit, which I think with regards to this, I'm going to use the offcut from there and work it in. Now, covering the entire area is definitely not essential, but it will definitely yield the best results, so I do recommend covering as much as you can. So before we can begin retrimming the headliner, we need to remove the layer of material that's currently on here so that we can get to the hardboard. This is not going to be a case where you can just heat the glue and peel it back. It's going to be a hard physical job of peeling it back and trying not to damage the board behind it. Now, this is a suede fabric that I purchased, which is like a foam backed material. Unfortunately, they do annoyingly post it by folding it, which does result in some creases. Now, I tried to iron these creases out and all what happened was I melted the material. So don't try to do this, guys. Just leave those creases. They will disappear over time. Anyway, let's jump into the process of getting that material peeled back on the original headliner and applying this beautiful suede. So once the old fabric is removed, all I need to do is lay out the new fabric in the position where I want to apply it. Once it's in position, I can start applying the glue to the board as well as to the back of the foam. Now of course this stuff is super sticky, so just be careful that you don't get any overspray anywhere where you don't want it. And also when you are applying the foam, you only really get one shot at this. So just make sure you stretch this and be careful you're not getting any folds or creases in it, because if you need to peel this back you may leave some of the foam behind. Remember to leave enough excess so that you can fold it over the back of the board, and when it comes to folding it over the back of the board you will need to do some release cuts. Now this is just trial and error or figuring out how the release cuts work, but you never want to cut within 1 centimeter of where the fold is. So at first I'm using the spray adhesive to tuck it down at the back, and then we're going to go around with a staple gun afterwards. I'll put a link in the description down below of course for the staple gun I used, as well as the 4mm staples that I needed to use to ensure that they don't come through the other side. And now this is how the front section came out. I think it looks pretty professional, but I still need to cut out the holes for the light and the mirror, and to do this I will use a soldering iron as this melts through it pretty quickly. And now because the back section has a massive bulge in it, it's going to be a lot harder to do. What I found is that you need to have enough fabric overlapping on every corner of the headliner. And you start from one corner, work your way across to the other corner, and then stretch it all into position. It was extremely frustrating to work this one out, but I think I did a pretty good job of it. Now I did leave the original fabric on this one because the board was so damaged, but thankfully the fabric was still sticking really well and not seeping in any positions. I know this one won't last as well as the front one, but unfortunately it's all I've got at the moment. Now I used a soldering iron to burn through the original holes where the fir tree clips went, but I did buy new fir tree clips to use, but annoyingly they didn't work as well as the original ones. So I decided to use self-tapping screws in certain positions instead of using the fir tree clips. Now with everything prepped and the headliner retrimmed, I can now start putting it back into the vehicle. Now the first stage is going to be getting the front one in and making sure that you can get all the connectors for the light in position before you go ahead and affix it in place. At this point it's a good idea to make sure that any cables on the roof are out of your way, because you don't want to accidentally put a screw through any of them when you're putting on the sun visors. And with the interior light connected up, you can then start to put the headliner back into the position where it goes. I found the best way to do this was starting from the driver's side. The fir tree clips worked well on the front part of the headliner, but I found them useless for the rear section. Once the driver's side is done, you can then go around to the passenger side and put the fir tree clips into position here. Now with the rear section, admittedly I had a complete and utter meltdown with it because it was dreadful to put back in on my own. You definitely need an extra set of hands to do this, and I found that self-tapping screws were my best friend when it came to this. And only to make things worse, my phone battery went flat while it was filming this last section, so I didn't even get footage of getting it back into place. Thankfully it was very easy to fit the trim around the rear window, so that made up for it. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your Defender's interior, start with the headliner. It's affordable, it completely transforms the look, and you can easily do it in a weekend. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, drop me a comment below if you're planning to try it yourself, and please subscribe to my channel because there's loads more coming. For those that do subscribe to my channel, I will be doing a few giveaways next month for Christmas so that I can give back to you guys for supporting me. I'll discuss it more in the next video, but if you're subscribed, you're already in with a chance. All you need to do is continue watching my content. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.